I didn't say that. Yeah. And we didn't have, we had, I think, 30 minutes mail in San Francisco. We just got to the gate. We didn't even get a chance to look at all the mail there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went to Idaho, December 4th to order. Join me for the flag salute, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Losi.
Here.
Councilmember Mobley.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Here.
Mayor Trent.
Here. Okay. Oral comments from the public. If anybody'd like to say anything that's not on the agenda, this is the time to do it, and you have 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll close public comment. And consent calendar, anybody want to pull anything? I'm going to pull the council's appointments.
And I'll like to make a comment on that also.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Just, I noticed in the applications that Doug was unsure whether I'd vouch for him or not. I just wanted to say that I'd be happy to. You and I have discussed historical matters a lot, so you know what you're talking about. And that's it.
Okay, I am going to pull the Roner Community Recreation application till the next meeting because I haven't had a chance to talk to the applicant yet. So do we have to make a motion on that, or we just approve the other ones?
Make a motion to pull that one from the consent calendar because the other ones will fall into the consent calendar, please.
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye. And I'll go ahead and approve, was that the consent calendar or for that one item?
That was for that one. Now
Yeah.
it's for the consent calendar.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to city council business. Our first item of business is a public hearing, second reading, and adoption of ordinance 2023-764, amending chapters 17.03, 17.06, and 17.08 of the Fortuna Municipal Code, complying with multifamily design standards and to allow agricultural employee housing consistent with state law. Staff report, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Trent. So this is a second reading. I'm just going to give a brief presentation. I gave a more detailed presentation when this was last presented on November 6th at the council meeting. So very basically, there's 2 proposed zoning code amendments that deal with multifamily design standards and agricultural employee housing. On September 5th, 2023, the City Council adopted the multifamily design standards, and on November 6th, the Council conducted the first reading of this ordinance to make the changes to the zoning ordinance that allow multifamily design standards to allow by right approval for multifamily and mixed-use residential projects. And again, just a quick recap, the proposed zoning code amendments remove the conditional use permit and design review requirements for multifamily projects consistent with multifamily design standards. And then the agricultural housing will amend the housing element to comply with state employee and housing law. In agricultural zones, agricultural employee housing must be treated the same as other agricultural activities and will not be allowed to require a conditional use permit. And then also agriculture employee housing must be allowed by right, and these changes allow a maximum of 36 beds in a group quarters or 12 units or spaces designed for single-family household, or a maximum 36 units meeting eligibility criteria operated by an affordable housing organization, or other types of employee housing such as that are classified as labor camps and labor supply camps and will be allowed in the AE zoning district with a use permit. So again, there's very few places that can occur within the city of Fortuna. At the last council meeting, I showed a map, and there's one area off Eel River Drive within the city limits, and then the area around Clendenin's Apple Orchard and off of 12th Street in the city. So it's unlikely that we'll see a lot of activity, but it's possible in some of those agricultural zonings. So the staff recommendation is, as the mayor read, to adopt the proposed amendments to the zoning code to be consistent with the multifamily design standards and to allow agricultural employee housing consistent with state law by conducting the second reading and adopting ordinance 2023-764.
Thank you. Any questions from council? No? Okay, I'll open public hearing. Any questions from the public? Seeing none, we'll close public hearing.
Make a motion to hold the second reading and adopt ordinance 2023-764. Read by title only.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Ordinance 2023-764, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Fortuna, amending chapters 17.03, 17.06, and 17.08 of the Fortuna Municipal Code to comply with the multifamily design standards and to allow agricultural employee housing consistent with state law, and determining the ordinance to be exempt from CEQA. Councilmember Losi?
Yes.
Councilmember Mobley?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson?
Yes.
Mayor Trent?
Yes. Our next item is to approve a supplemental budget request for the Carson Woods Water Line Replacement Project, CPI 9124. Staff report, please.
Yes, good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. The City of Fortuna provides water to the county side of Carson Woods Road, which serves 25 domestic water connections with a 1-inch mainline water pipe. This 1-inch main line alternates between steel, PVC, thin black poly pipe, and CTS poly pipe, all of various condition and installation years. This main line is severely undersized for the amount of connections it serves and is prone to leakage due to age and condition. Additionally, the city is unable to connect any new services or install hydrants because the line does not have adequate capacity. Also, during the December 2022 earthquake, a steel section towards the end of the line failed in multiple locations, causing water outage to the last 6 houses on the street. The outage lasted for 35 hours until the utility crew was able to find, dig up, and repair 4 sections of the pipe. The 2023-24 capital improvement program includes the use of water capital reserves to complete this project in these fiscal years 2026-27 and 2027-28. The construction estimate for the project assumed the project would be completed as a bid project and was estimated using prevailing wage rates and not estimated as a project that would be completed by city forces. In order to provide a service on a shorter timeline, staff is currently proposing that the city use city forces to complete the work and complete the project in this current fiscal year. The city's utility crew has the expertise to complete the work, and newer members of the crew would benefit from the experience of installing a water line. Typically, our crews repair leaks and do small maintenance projects, not mainline replacements. Engineering staff have modeled the proposed water line extension and will complete the design of the project soon. Completing the project this fiscal year will allow the city to provide more reliable service to its existing customers and improve fire protection capability by the addition of new hydrants where there currently are none. It may also be possible to add services for homeowners in extenuating circumstances that do not currently have water service from the city. The project is proposed to be divided into at least 2 phases, with only the first phase being proposed to be completed this fiscal year. The first phase will include the replacement of 1,750 feet of existing 1-inch water line with a new 8-inch water line, the replacement of 16 existing service connections, and the installation of 3 fire hydrants, necessary valves, and fittings. Future phases will include a 50-foot bridge crossing and the replacement of the remaining 700 feet of 1-inch water line, the replacement of 9 existing service laterals, and the installation of 1 last fire hydrant. Staff will seek approval for subsequent phases in the future, and only approval of the first phase is being requested at this time. The fiscal impact, materials, and equipment are expected to cost $132,500. No staff time is included in this project, as staff time is already accounted for in the current fiscal year 2023-24 budget. The funds for the water line replacement are proposed to come from Fund 510 Water Treatment and Distribution Reserves, and a copy of the supplemental budget request is included as attachment A. Staff recommends that the council approve the supplemental budget request for the Carson Woods Water Line Replacement Project in the amount of $132,500. If there's any questions, we have Jesse Suzle here. He's our utility shift supervisor and the man with the plan.
Thank you. Any questions from council?
Yeah. How will this work out for having a service call guy and meter reading?
So just recently, we have one guy that does all our service calls now. We were rotating every week, but it just got to be too much for city hall stuff. You know, it's easier for one guy to remember everything for service calls. Meter reading, we've been able to get that done in one day with our new meter reading system. So it's, you know, we like to start early because it seems to read better when it's early for whatever reason. So we start about 6. We usually get done 2 o'clock. So it's actually been pretty fast. It's just the rereads is what takes a long time.
I know how long it can do on a mainline job, and that's,
Yeah.
so that'd be good. Thank you.
Yep.
So I had the same question. What kind of a length of time are you talking about with the first phase?
Well, if we don't have anything major happen, you know, I would assume 10 weeks, 10, 12 weeks.
Okay.
And that's with starting out slow because, like I said, we have, other than me, I have one guy right now who's ever done mainline. And so Carson Woods is like really prime for training grounds. It's low traffic, all utilities, the communications, the power, it's all above ground, it's all above head. There's gas line in there, but we're really only crossing it maybe 6 or 7 times, I think. I haven't broke a gas line in a long time, so
Better knock on wood, though.
should be there. It's been quite a while.
Jesse, did you want to tell the council about the one of your desire to have this be a training experience and see your guys be able to put in the main line and the services?
Yeah, like I said, I've only got one guy who's done it, so it's like, it's really good time to train. I think we get the first week of training in, whether it's ditch safety, how to stab the pipe together, you know, shading the pipe, all that kind of good stuff. After the first week, I think we can just stab and go and really make some time up, especially if we can get maybe 1 or 2 drivers from maybe another crew. We have 4 trucks. If we run all 4 trucks, man, we should be able to dig up some road.
Looks like you're looking at about 22 joints, 20 footers, if you can do 20 footers.
Yeah, we're going all 20s except for a couple spots we have to do, I think 2 45s in the corners, but I mean, stabbing pipe's easy. Especially with nothing in the way. I think we have to cross 2 storm drains, but just that and the gas lines, storm drains can take a hit too, so.
So will you put this whole new line in and then switch it over?
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the first 1,700 feet in. We'll charge it up, make sure it doesn't leak, we'll chlorinate it. And then, we'll, one by one, we'll go back and we'll start hooking houses up. And then, the next part is gonna be the bridge crossing. It's really not something that we can do, that's gonna have to be contracted out. You're gonna have to hang water main over the bridge. So somebody can be doing that, we can still be hooking up water line, services. You know, and that's something that can be done in between other stuff that come up, you know. It
So
doesn't
it'll
have
be
to
a
done
minimal
right away.
time that they'll be out of water?
Nobody will be out of water,
Oh, so it won't get shut off at all?
nope.
Oh.
So we'll leave the existing line in and running until we're done with the first section.
Uh-huh.
And then as we hook up one house, we'll kill that old service. And then we'll hook up another house, we'll kill that service. And then We won't kill that whole main line until the entire project's done. So nobody will be without water ever.
When you're hooking up their individual houses, they won't be without?
5 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Yep. We can lay everything and then hook it up, switching it over, it's pretty fast. Yeah.
Good.
Good. And that's been an issue for a few years.
Yeah, and we have a lot of people out there who really would like to get some water too. There's a lot of interest out there. Jerry Houston, last house on the road, he's been begging me for 15 years to get some water out there. He's even offered to pay for half the project or part of the project. He wants it that bad.
And then just, I wanted to point out that we have a figure up there that shows the location of the proposed water line. I just wanted to make sure that, that Jesse, maybe you could walk the council through that and just kind of show them, or just describe what the extents of that are, so they can see the figure up.
Right, so just those corners right there, those two corners are the two sections we'll have to put 45s in. And then not even all those houses are actually currently on the water system. So there's a bunch of those that would add if they wanted it to. I believe we're gonna add 3 fire hydrants in every 500 feet. So we'll try to pick out some good spots for those where they're not gonna get ran over, which has been a big problem for us lately.
So the water line, does it go down the middle of the road?
I think it's gonna
Side?
depend a lot, we still have to I'd like to get a USA out there to see exactly where the gas line runs, because that's really the only thing in our way. And then maybe some depths of it, because we will have to cross it a few times. But I think left edge to center will be most of where it's gonna go.
Okay. So we'll have to repair the road then, once it's covered up, the pipe's covered and everything?
Yeah, and that's all
After we do it.
included too, in that 32,000.
Okay.
So the road repair and paving, that's all included in that.
Okay. And the utility crew can do this as well as the maintenance? I mean, I understand with the meter reading and that, but the regular maintenance can also be done at the same time?
Yeah, so we've actually, the last 10 years, we've been working hard trying to get rid of our old thin black poly pipe and the blue poly pipe. That's been our most problem areas. So whenever we find it, we've been replacing it. And we also, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, we went and just did whole subdivisions getting that stuff out of there. Our leaks are down to maybe like 3 a month is a bad month for leaks right now for us. So the leaks are down really, really good.
And Councilmember Losia, they're going to be keeping the existing water service live as they move this forward, and so there's no reason they can't pull off if they do have something urgent.
Yeah, if we have an emergency, we need to break off. I mean, it's really just gonna put us another day back on the project. It's not gonna affect anybody.
And then, of course, how much it's going to be raining? Because we're coming into
Well-
this next week.
No, and I think we're planning to start this after the new year sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jesse.
Yeah.
You just want to make it past December and hope we don't have another earthquake, right?
Yes, thank you for that.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, Jesse. Okay, seeing no more questions, we'll open public comment. Anybody have a question or comment on this project? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve supplemental budget request for the Carson Woods Water Line Replacement Project.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, move on to city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor Trent. I'd just like to review the upcoming meeting schedule. Our next regularly scheduled council meeting, we're expecting to be held on December 18th at 6:00 p.m., the regular time. Our next planning commission meeting will be on Tuesday, December 12th, also at 6:00 p.m. It's likely that we'll be canceling the meeting on December 26th. So December 12th would be the next meeting that we have. The next Measure E meeting is on December 19th, so that's coming up. It's been a while since we've had a Measure E meeting. Our next Roner Community Recreation and Park District meeting will be this Wednesday, December 6th. We expect there to be pretty good attendance. We have a number of things that are coming to the district for discussion. I'll talk about those in a moment. And our next business improvement district meeting date is December 26th, 2023. And yes, please.
I just wanted to make a clarifying point. The Measure E meeting for December 19th has been canceled. It's going to be combined with the January meeting.
Thank you. So just a few things for my verbal report. There's some exciting news. We are close to, I think, having a new Parks and Recreation director. So we have an employee in background for that position, and we had some direction to council to be able to approve that offer. So we would bring that back to the council formally to have that position approved in the near future. So we're expecting that to be sometime in January. So that'd be great. We're really excited to have a new Parks and Recreation director, and I know that our staff are looking forward to that as well. We've also been doing a recruitment for a community development director. We're very optimistic right now that we can get a highly qualified candidate in that position. We did in interviews last week, and then we're going to be doing some following up interviews with a candidate next week, and we think there's some real potential to be able to make a hire there in the near future. So it's been a long time since we've had a community development director, and especially one that has a lot of experience. So I'll be excited to bring that to the council for direction soon. There's also been a lot of activity within with the Roner Community Recreation in Park District. At their meeting this week, they're going to be having some of their attorneys come in and just talk about some of the trade-offs with the different revenue mechanisms. I also had an interesting meeting with Dennis Scott with McLean Foundation today. McLean Foundation, they're in a position where they really support the project right now, and I think they really want to see that project accelerated, even if it means more involvement of the McLean Foundation financially. So there's some real potential, and we'll be discussing that at the Roner Rec meeting on Wednesday. The Al Gray, just a reminder, the Al Gray Lighted Parade is this Friday. It has a different route than it did in the past, so it'll be held on December 8th at 6 o'clock p.m., and it'll start on Main Street in downtown with the staging, and then it'll be going up and down Fortuna Boulevard. So it's not going to be going on the same route that it used to go through some of the neighborhoods. And then also at the Fortuna Business Improvement District will be having the Kids Free movie. Again, the movie theater's closed, so it wasn't an option to do the Kids Free movie, and the idea is to have a time where parents can drop off their kids to watch a free movie. So they'll be doing it at the Fireman's Pavilion. That'll be on December 9th from 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. and registration is at 1:30 to 2 p.m. and the movie begins at 2 o'clock. And tickets can be picked up at the Fortuna Grocery Outlet, Wyckoff's Plumbing, and Bob's Footlong. And so just lastly, the contractor, Public Works Director is doing a great job with the management of the police facility. It's really exciting. They've been continuing to make progress. The PG&E set a new pole for the power service. The underground is in for that power service. They're getting ready to put the panels on and do some pads for the transformers and working on some of the site work. So a lot is happening. They've also textured the inside, so when you walk in, it doesn't feel as much like a construction site. You know, the drywall looks nice and clean, and you can start to get a better sense of what things are going to look like. So it's moving along quickly. We're still looking at the end of March for a move-in date. And one of the big things is going to be coordinating the various types of IT infrastructure. There's a lot that happens for the police, the AT&T 911 server, the data management software, the fiber optic switchover. So there's a whole handful of groups that come in, and they each have their own specific requirements, and it all has to happen at the same time. And so the approach that they're taking is to try to have all that hardware and everything up and set up to go, but then just have the switch over, and so we have a redundant system. And so that's kind of one of our bigger challenges that we have left. The contractor's doing a great job. I'm confident all those things are going to be done, but really that's the one I'm a little bit nervous about, is just making sure that everybody does their part for that IT switchover. So Brendan's doing a great job of managing that. Our police chief will be identifying staff to work on that from the police side to make sure that's seamless. And so we're anxiously awaiting that. In the meantime, I think fairly soon we're going to start looking at the floor plans for City Hall and think about how we can move the community development department into the police side when it is vacant. So we're starting to look at that now, and we're going to start putting some time and energy into thinking about how we reuse that space when they're out and what needs to be done for that. So that concludes my report.
Thank you.
I have some questions.
Okay.
Yeah, some exciting times coming up. The Roner Rec meeting, is it at 2:30?
Yes,
on Wednesday?
yes.
Okay, and in years past, once in a while, we'll cancel that second meeting in December, being so close to Christmas. Has there been any discussion about the possibility of that or not?
You know, I think we'll be looking at that with staff tomorrow. We'll be planning that agenda, after we see what future agenda items that we have and looking at what needs to be approved by the end of the year. So right now, I'm not sure if we have anything that needs to go. With Christmas, it's a little bit different this year. It's on Sunday, and so Monday will be the holiday. So usually when it's towards the end of the week, things kind of shut down and we might have a Monday off. But right now, I just want to see what items that we need to get done, what business we have before the end of the year. So it's possible, but right now we're planning on having that meeting unless we hear otherwise.
We hope to approve some hires.
Yes, we would like to be able to do that. Yeah, and I will say that we did have a closed session that dealt with some employee and personnel issues, and we received direction from the council. So we'd love to be able to approve putting offers out there, conditional offers to new employees, or approving the appointment of potentially a parks director to open session. So those are ones that I would not want to delay.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, now you can give your report.
All right, thank you, Madam Mayor. I have nothing to report. No
Okay.
meetings,
Okay, Councilmember Chris Mobley?
I was just going to tell the dates that Merritt said, but I also wanted to notate the snowflakes downtown. They look great. They are amazing, and I've heard so many positive comments about them. And that's it.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Johnson?
Mine's almost that long. You and I together, attended the employee breakfast and recognized the service years of some of our 25-plus year employees, plus the newer ones, and actually got a chance to say thank you to them, and had some awesome prizes for the raffle too. So it was a good time for that. And then today we had the chamber meeting, an update on real estate, insurance, financing, fire. It was a lot of ground covered. I don't think that one's being taped, so you won't be able to go back and watch it. But there was a lot of information shared there. I believe there's plans to have a workshop in Fortuna regarding some of the CAL FIRE requirements and insurance requirements, how we can meet all that. So that'll be a time for people to come and get some information and to get some feedback back to CAL FIRE. So, and lastly, we got a chance to prepare for the CCC thank you party, which is next week. And our second district supervisor will be joining us for that, and we will get a chance to thank the CCC for all they do, because a lot of the special events that happen because they're working with us. And some of it's real easy, some of it's not nearly as easy, but they get out and get after it. So that's my report.
Thank you. I just want to add to that, that 25 years of service to the city is quite an accomplishment, and I just really want to thank Matt Eberhardt, our lieutenant from the Fortuna Police Department, and Alice Rye, our payroll clerk from City Hall, for their 25 years of service. And then I'm really happy to announce that Sue Long is now going to be on the Measure Z committee with me, so I'm very excited about that appointment. The Measure Z committee is the county's tax advisory committee. And then I want to congratulate Ferndale High School. They just took the North State title in football and will be headed down to LA for the state game. You know, if they get that, it's going to be a tough game. They're playing a school that has almost 1,800 students, and their football team is 35, and Ferndale doesn't even have a senior class of 35. So But they're very excited about having this opportunity. They have never won state, so if they do that, it will be a first. And then I also wanted to say Kyle is at his son's football award ceremony, that his team, he plays for the AA Huskies, and they took first place and went undefeated all season, so congratulations to them too. And I also wanted to add to the Truckers Parade, that's also the Downtown Merchants Open House. So when you go down there to see all the trucks, you can go through all the stores and do your Christmas shopping while you're there. And I think that's everything, a nice quick meeting tonight. So we have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, meeting adjourned.